Okay, this is a manual tire changer that I'm working on. It's not fully finished. This is the conventional old style steel one purchased from, in Canada, Princess Auto. The equivalency in the US would be Harbor Freight. Its intention is it bolts on, which gives me a very stable base, and this is a sheet of plywood with some 2x6 bolted, so in the end when this is bolted down I have a very stable platform. So my intentions are that I want to work on aluminum rims to change them with, especially now that the aluminum rims get rim leaks, which causes a lot of problems. So how I've already done successfully 4 Volvo tires on this. This is a Cobalt rim, and I'll show you where the design change needs to be. This, I bought this machine, and there's the extra accessories that come with it, with the full intentions of cutting it up, chopping it, and altering it. So what I've done so far is I put a piece of plywood, 1/2-inch plywood disc on this. Now this is actually a Cobalt rim, which won't go over it, but I'll show you with a Volvo rim. This actually is not the Volvo rim that went over it, but what it does is with the piece of plywood it centers it without scratching it. And then you just drop a plastic adapter, a washer over the top, and you spin your collar down, and then you can take your tire off after it's knocked off the bead, of course, and reinstall it. So you'd say, why don't I wreck or scratch the rims? Because what I've made is this represents the fire hose piece that I use, which is reinforced nylon and has a little bit of back. This is just a cotton rag, but you put this over the inside of your rim as you're prying with your tire iron, and you don't chip or scratch your paint. Like I said, I've done 4 successfully. So after I had designed this with the intentions that this design would work forever with some modifications, this is my Cobalt rim that I've done 6 of these, and I also just finished 4 Volvo rims. This one I found out will not go over the top. But as I said, I had I wasn't worried that it wasn't going to fit. So I thought about it for a while, and what I came up with is a design change that I'm going to cut this bar off the top, and it's going to be mounted on a plate where they'll all bolt in. This 1-inch threaded rod is going to have the nut welded to the underside, and then that will replace that, which will be adjustable. Now that will let me do any other rims, big or small. Now, this for example here, this is like an ATV tire. Actually, it's off a front steer more. And how would I handle those problems? Just to show you that I can do things. This isn't the final design, but this rim here could mount on that, and then with a little bit of fiddling, and then you put your rod and your collar and you hold it down there, and then you can change your tires there. So then the one other big problem is, as over here, John-Deere tires, which are, the fronts are 8 and the backs are 10s or 12s. How are you going to deal with those? Because those are the biggest wrestling match going. My adapter plate, which would be on here, which would take the 1-inch rod, would have a 1-inch nut, and then I'll just put in a 1/2-inch piece of threaded rod for that one, which I've been holding them. I put my collar on there, and I'll stand my 8-inch John Deere on top of that, rims, and then I can change the tires there. Then somebody say, well, why did you make the big fancy base? Because I don't want to bolt this to my workshop floor. I'm stuck with it. This moves away, and this just stands up in the corner. So when this is all together, that bolts down like that, and with a few bolts there. And then for knocking the beads off, I'm not going to use the adapter that comes with them, because every one of the ones I've seen online or on pictures, they wreck them, they reinforce them. I just use my hydraulic press, which takes it works quite good. And this is a 16 to 20 inch tire changer, and yet I'm going to do 8-inch rims on it. I don't have an 8-inch rim to show you, but with this little adapter I can do it. So there it is, a half unfinished project in the middle of the winter, but I've already used it. And if you look outside, you'll see we do have Canadian winter. So the novelty is, no, I'm not going to be doing it. And if you turn around behind me, as my camera assistant slowly moves, there, come over here, you will see New Holland skid steer tires, and if I get a hole in them, that can be a real chore, which will be done on my tire changing machine. So that's why I'm making the universal tire change machine, which is half finished. And that concludes this story.